Hi, I am Rajender Vashisht. I am the management consultant, and normally I support and work with the SMEs. They normally don't define the recruitment process in writing, and hence they face a lot of roadblocks. When in the small startup, people are hiring people, and people are hiring who do not have the right experience of hiring. They do not know how to really conduct a in-depth interview or the competence-based interview. The second is they lot come from the perception and the background they come from. For example, there could be a entrepreneur who is an engineer. So probably he typically end up asking questions more comfortably from the engineering background, whereas he may be hiring a person for the marketing. Thirdly, they do not really pay a lot of attention in defining the KRAs and KPIs and the job description correctly. Most of the startup companies also end up bringing people on board because they don't have a right structure process. What they do, some of typical their colleagues or their friends or their relatives would have referred someone who is looking for a job. Point here to understand is that these startup companies also hire people initially who are doing the multiple roles, so who are not actually specialists of a particular domain. And what happens then? These typical people end up hiring people who are expert of a particular domain. Hence they don't really know how to frame their questions, they don't define those, and hence they end up hiring people again based on perception. Startup company should first define the KRAs, KPIs and job description correctly for the role they are hiring. Second, they should also frame questions in advance so that they are not really getting defocused while conducting the interview. Third thing is they should also look at the other attributes like competence and skill set of the people they are hiring so that they remain focused on those skill sets. They also should know in advance that how to really measure and assess the answer given by the candidate for the typical answer they can get from. They can take even the external help in hiring so that they don't really end up doing double mistakes, that you hire and then you fire or you let the guy go. So then this should not become the bottleneck for the growth of the company, and this also should not become the reason for high attrition in the company. When we write a recruitment process, we also typically write about his qualification, about his experience, about his competencies, about the skill set, about deliverables and accountability. When we can do all this in writing, it also educates the person in advance who is actually conducting that interview. Another important aspect is the salary structure. Startups, they have no idea about the market salary. They typically have no idea about the competition. They don't know whom to really compare with. Now they can end up comparing with very large organizations, which is itself is a bottleneck in the hiring process. So what they should see, okay, I should look at the size of the companies from where I am hiring. I should look at the size of responsibility the gentleman is holding, and then we should typically target only those companies.